Our community is the future of online business. I want to take a little time with you guys today to kind of like decipher this. Now, obviously, this is a bit of a speculative post, but I do want to kind of spend a little bit of time with you and share my opinions. Right, being someone who's been full time online since 2021, I have literally like engulfed myself in online business since 2018. It has been like the main focus and obsession of my life and business for many years at this point. And before I do share my opinions, I will give a little bit of context. I am might be a little bit biased, right? Communities absolutely changed everything about my life, right? So I'm not trying to create this content from a biased perspective. We did seven figures with our Facebook groups. Have done multi six figures with school groups. I have been living, breathing, and teaching community as a mechanism for business uh, for years, right? So I want to just put the cards out there that I might be a little biased, but I want to try to like actually give a little bit of perspectives around the future of online business and why I do genuinely believe that community is going to be the key. Now, full transparency, I'm not the only one. It's really fascinating and really cool to watch in the online business building landscape. You have all these big creators, Russell Brunson, who's all about funnels and tech and all these webinars and all this stuff. He's talking about, oh, the future of online business isn't AI, it's community. Everybody and their mother, ever since Alex Hermosi invested in school, has all became community experts. They're all about community. Community is the key to long-term success, and I genuinely love this aspect. Right, this is something myself and my business partner have been talking about for years in business. Living, breathing, and teaching the fact that community is 100% the key to long-term success. Not only long-term success, but simple success. So it has been really awesome to watch like the entire online business landscape kind of evolve and transition more into like a community-led business. Now, my honest opinions and takes on this actual perspective is I do think we will get to a point in online business where community will no longer be optional. Um, and the reason for that is one, partially because of AI, right? AI is getting extremely proficient. The content is getting really well. The videos are getting really well. There's going to be a dystopian state of like the market where people are going to constantly question like what's real and is this content AI and whatever. And I'm not creating this to like take anything against AI, right? Like most of my written content as of lately has been produced with AI. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with AI. Um, but in a game of personal branding, building online businesses, selling products and services, making money online is literally just a transfer of trust, right? You're not going to make product sales if they don't trust you. And if there is this constant state of distrust in the market because you have everybody questioning if this is real content or not, uh, it's going to make your job harder to sell products, sell services, sell anything that you have to offer if you don't have something that creates that depth, creates that really deep connection and culture and environment and just like this actual thing deeper than just like tactics. The days of service level content and digital products are going to get harder and harder and harder to sell because one, with AI, information isn't sexy. Information isn't anybody can open up ChatGPT and get a meal plan. They can get, a workout plan. They can get an online business plan. Like it's not a sexy angle to just sell raw tactics or raw information because AI makes information readily available for absolutely everybody for free. And having a community or building a community is a really easy way to create some type of emotional buy in, or your audience gets the ability to buy into a movement or something bigger than just information, just tactics or strategies. They get to be a part of a movement, they get to be a part of something, they get to feel like they're contributing to actually building this thing, or they're actually getting to buy into something, not just buying a course where they learn how to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, they get to feel like they are actually a part of building something and a part of something bigger than just making money. Now, number two, I think this will also become a very normal thing, a part of online business. It kind of already is. Yeah, you see this a lot with like TikTok Shop and retail influencing type stuff where they're doing like these live studios or doing these live pitches where they're doing lives with these products. I do honestly believe that over the course of time, these will become more and more important and almost probably like a prerequisite in online business, like workshops in your communities. Could technically do workshops outside of your community as well, but some type of live interactive experience. I think for a lot of us, if you've been in the online business building space, you do maybe you create a course, you create a program, you sell that program, and it's like great because this is super leveraged and it doesn't take much of my time, which is great from a delivery or a product standpoint. But I do think as far as like sales mechanisms or actually transferring that trust really fast, I do think a lot of creators will need to adopt some type of live format. Okay. We do this a lot inside of our communities. We do this a lot inside of our business where, hey, we're kicking off a promotion, we're kicking off an offer. Let's do a live workshop. Let's talk about, all these prerequisite problems that our audience will probably face before they need our product that we're buying. But this is going to really accelerate those relationships. It's really going to transfer that trust a lot faster because they can interact with you. They can ask you questions. You can give them feedback in real time. They can actually, interact and get to know you on a deeper level versus like super polished robotic type content, which is going to get more and more, right? That we're going to get to a point where AI is going to be able to, emulate you and your content uh, perfectly. Okay, so like naturally, what do we as humans gravitate towards when we get too much of the same stuff? It's like eating the same meal every day. We're gonna want something different. So if we're in a constant state of hyper polished plastic skin content with AI avatars, the natural thing is like we want raw, we want transparent, we want unpolished. Okay, this is why UGC became so popular with brands. It's like how can we humanize these brands? How can we humanize this content? How can we make these big box companies have marketing and content that looks like it was just created off somebody's cell phone? Well, pay people to credit from their cell phone, right? Now I won't take credit for that opinion. Okay, that's something I picked up from Tom Bellew. He honestly thinks that live selling and live interactive and live workshops will probably become the standard for business online. Okay. Especially because, like, again, AI. And I know, like, again, I'm not saying anything bad about AI. I use AI every single day. But realistically, it is going to make our life harder as product sellers, course creators, coaches, consultants, digital marketers. It's going to make our lives harder if we don't adapt. Okay. So, my honest opinion, in the two ways that you can adapt very easily is one, getting your own community. And I don't care what you sell. I don't care if you have your own course, you have someone else's digital product. This is the number one mistake that I watch a lot of like new digital marketers do is like, oh, well, I'm selling this product and they have a community, so I don't need to start my own. And that is completely backwards thinking. That is more reason for you to start your own community. Because what happens if that business owner decides to change their business? They decide to burn down that group. They decide to pivot and go to a different offer. You need to start thinking about your own business and your own security. Okay, this is the number one thing we've told a lot of our clients over the years is like, that's great. You want to be an affiliate of ours. You want to promote our products. We'll pay you, whatever. But like, you need to set up and have your own culture and your own group. Because, like, heaven forbid, we go out of business and we're no longer building online businesses. You're going to have to start over from ground zero if you don't have your own tribe. You don't have your own culture. You don't have your own environment. You don't have your own ecosystem of people that like you, not just what you're selling them. Okay, so that's the number one thing I would say for like digital marketers, digital product sellers, or anything like that. Even if you're selling something that has a community on top of it, you need to create your own. You have to start thinking about your business in the next 2 to 5 to 10 years and stop putting all your eggs into like the product creator's basket, so to speak. Because what actually usually ends up happening, and I've seen this happen over and over again over the years, is you'll have all these people who are diehard fans of this community and they sell this digital product and they help this creator explode this group. And then that creator will be like, cool, I'm going to go do something else and I'm going to take all those people with me. And then you're left to start over from zero. Versus like what I would do, and this is what I started doing early in my business, was I would sell the same affiliate products. I would sell the same courses or programs that everybody was promoting in the market. But instead, I would make them join my community first. Or I would use my own community as a support system, right? So yeah, you can go buy this thing, but I cover A, B, and C over in my group as well. And I go live and I do all these other things and I really support you and help you, um, because you're really going to solidify those relationships on top of the product you're selling. Okay. This also really lets you stand out from everybody promoting the same products or in a competitive market, because you have different nuances. Okay, you're not just selling the same surface level product they are. You're selling your own process, your own community, your own ecosystem, so to speak. Now, if I'm being fully honest, I do think this is probably one of the path of least resistances for starting an online business nowadays, too. I mean, school has done an absolutely amazing job at making it so easy for anybody to build a community around something they're passionate about. Everything from like sourdough all the way to, online business, crypto, AI. It doesn't matter. Like, if you have an interest or a hobby or a passion, you could essentially turn that into a business online. And school hasn't made it any easier, right? You have like it's a $9 subscription to be on a school group, and you can essentially, have classrooms, payment processing, static feed, like all these different elements of starting and having a group, or you can just do it for free on Facebook, right? Like I think a lot of people put building a community or managing a community on a pedestal because it's like one, I don't have it's either hey, I don't have any results, like why would I have a community? I don't have anything to talk about, or number two, it's like, hey, I'm already pretty seasoned in business. I'm already doing pretty well in business, and I don't want to add another uh, thing to my plate. I don't want another add another project to manage or another thing to actually, try to fix or run inside of my business. And the way that I look at communities as a whole, it's like it's the lifeblood. That's the centerpiece of my entire brand, my business, everything that we do. It all stems from the group. So, like my content, this video, questions, marketing material, it all just kind of comes from that centralized ecosystem. Now, this only really happens when you start to treat your community like, the entire enchilada of your business and not just like a side project. It's not just like, oh, well, if you buy this thing, you can get my group as a bonus and I don't ever post in there. I'm never active. Like, no, you genuinely want to start treating your group and the community that you build as like the business, right? That's step one that everybody takes with you when they join, when they follow you, when they opt into your email list, like whatever your guys' process is like that needs to be the number one thing. Now, what actually happens over time too is you'll have your community members who do marketing for you. They create this environment and they share, and it creates this actual culture and movement deeper than just like, hey, go buy my products. Which anybody who's trying to sell products, like there's just a dime a dozen. Anybody can just create a piece of content and say, hey, buy my product. And you probably see them on your feed every single day. Now, I'll give you like an analytical approach. Okay. So for those of you guys that are like have that analytical brain or a little bit more of a tactical, logical brain. So instead of listening to me ramble, look at what all of these huge platforms are doing. What features are they launching with their software? Stan launching a community feature. Um, School has literally exploded by 100,000 members in the last 12 months. Like, look at the actual state of the market and ask yourself logically, is this something that I should be putting focus into? Every platform, all the people you're watching, all the mentors you're probably listening to. What's the common theme in all their businesses? You go buy anything from Russell Brunson. What's the first thing that happens? You get sent to a group. Okay, you go buy a high ticket product from somebody. What's the first thing that happens? You get sent into a group. You go buy a master resale rights program. What is the first thing that happens when you purchase? You get sent to a community. Like, really pay attention to what people are doing in business. This is a big lesson that took me a really long time to understand. I wanted to make all this money and I wanted to be, at home with my daughter and making all these sales online, right? So I was so fixated on listening to all the words that all these marketers would tell me, and I would completely neglect like paying attention to what they were actually doing. Like, this is the number one thing that almost every program has done for years. before school was popular, like before, communities were the topic of online business. And this is where I really started to figure out my own process because I literally started looking at what people were doing. Hey, I bought this program, and then what was the first step that I took? They put me into a group. Hey, I bought a different program. What was the first step that they took? They put me into the group. Hey, I opted into the email list. What was the first thing they did? They put me into a group. It is hands down, in my opinion, the number one tool for online business. And you can essentially treat it as like your entire business. It can replace your funnels, it can replace your automation, it can replace your tech if you literally just went content to community. I mean, we built a seven-figure business doing this. So again, I know I'm biased, but I genuinely believe that it will be the future of online business. And I do not think we will get to a point in the market where we will get there where it's not going to be optional. I think the difference between the people who make a little bit of money online right now, maybe they, may add $50,000 to their income. And if that's your only goal, that's great. But if you want to have a brand or a business that is sustainable for the next 5, 10, 15 years, then you really need to like start thinking about how you can actually start creating a movement and a culture and a tribe of people that buy into you deeper than just what you're selling, right? Because yes, you can make money with tactics. You can make money riding the AI wave. You can make money doing so many different things in online business. But the key to long-term success in a landscape that moves so fast is building that culture, building that environment, building that thing that your audience gets to buy into deeper than just what you're selling. Okay. Just an observation from a dinosaur in the digital marketing space. I joke, but I've been full time online for many years at this point. I've been playing this game for many years at this point, which is longer than a lot of people can say. And I don't say that with ego or with any type of thing. This is just my honest opinion. If I had to start over from zero today, I would literally go all in with community again. And the reason for that is because I genuinely believe that that is the state of the direction that the market is going to go in anyway. Because us as people naturally crave what we don't have. Okay. And as AI gets better, as tools get better, as tech gets better, we are going to really start craving that human, that raw, radical, transparent, uncut, unfiltered, one-to-one human connection, right? So the easiest way to do that is like build a tribe. Look at all of the craziest, cult movements in history. What were they? Communities of people. I'm not saying you got to build a cult or be a fanatic or anything crazy like that, but I'm just trying to make an example. Look at politics, right? That's why you have so many people who are this side or that side, and they genuinely believe that the other party is, um, the worst human being in the world. Whatever. Okay, this isn't a political post. I'm just trying to give you guys examples. These are communities of people, right? That their beliefs are so deep that everything else doesn't make sense. This is what you need to emulate in your business. And I'm not saying to do this like disingenuously or, unethically, but it is a very real, powerful mechanism that you can use inside of your business. So, just a bit of a ramble, opinion share, opinion piece, and yeah, if you haven't started one, I would. And if you are new to online business and you are like asking yourself, what would I put in my group? Uh, there is this paradox of running a community. The more that you have in it, the easier it is to grow because I can literally just go talk about what I just put in my group on my socials, on my TikTok, on my Instagram, wherever that I'm creating content. I can just go turn around and be like, hey, I just dropped this really awesome resource. I'll actually do this today. I will go upload this video that I'm recording for you right now into my group, and then I'll go create a TikTok about it. Then I'll send an email about it and creating that, feedback loop of putting stuff in my group and growing my group. Okay. So if you're new, what you potentially want to start doing is looking at using your community as digital diary. Hey, this is day one of me trying to lose 50 pounds after having a baby. Hey, this is day one of me trying to add $1,000 a month to my income using online business. Um, and It's gonna feel weird because there's gonna be nobody in there, but we're really trying to drive that consumption and give people all of this context around where you were and where you've been. Where you were and where you've been. It's the exact same thing. Great English, Nate. Um, where you were and where you're at now, right? So you want to use it to document your process, document your journey, share your wins, your failures, what you're doing, why you're doing it, etc. And then create that feedback loop of like, hey, I just broke down the number one mistake I made in my fitness journey. I just broke down the number one mistake I made over here. Um, and you're creating that flywheel effect of having never running out of content ideas, essentially, but always getting people to consume. Okay, and the reason you do this is because you want people to see themselves in you. Like if you're a menopause coach who helps women rebalance their hormones after menopause, if they come into your community and they read and they see all this content talking about your journey, helping them fix the problems that they're going through, is very easy sales because you're building belief or building conviction in the process or the plan or what you're doing, and they get to see themselves in your stories, in your content, in your community, right? Because that's essentially what you're trying to do at its core. And I will give you an advanced tactic for anybody who's like a little bit more of the seasoned business owner who likes the idea of community but doesn't potentially like the idea of adding more workload to their plate. The number one thing that I would encourage you to do is like look at the offer that you're selling, look at the thing that you are actually selling in your business, and then run a 3 to 7 day workshop inside of your group that solves all of the problems before somebody would actually need your offer. And what this could potentially look like is, let's say you help people, grow their audience to 10,000 followers on Instagram. So to have a client that is ready to do that, they would need to have like brand palette, branding done, their social media optimized, bio set up, understanding of content formats and hooks and all this type of stuff, right? So like ask yourself logically, what would make my customers experience as easy as possible when they purchase my program that I want to sell them? So then I would run some type of 3 to 7 day workshop inside of my free group that would help them collect all those wins to help them even be ready for my offer. A lot of the times we try to sell to the wrong people. It's like, hey, I want you to buy this $1,000 program from me, but you don't even know what online business is. So right, there's that disconnect between even needing the product. And then I would literally just shift my content to get as many people as possible through that workshop in my group that sells for me and becomes my main mechanism to get interest around my offer. And then I would pitch at the end of it. I would do a bonus day at the end and say, hey, I'm looking for A, B, and C number of people. And this is what I want to do. This is what we're going to do together, right? We got your social media set up. We, optimized your bio. We got clear on the content that you're creating. And, I wanted to help you take your audience from where it is right now and help you add 10,000 followers to your Instagram as an example, right? Has to be the next problem. Can't be the next, this more of the same, right? That's a big disconnect I've seen a lot of creators do when they try to do like community workshops or anything like that, is they try to sell the same outcome. It's like if I run a 5 day live event in my group all around setting up your Instagram, and then I try to sell you a 5 day masterclass on setting up your Instagram. Just doesn't work, right? You need to think about the natural next problem that your audience is going to have, and that's the anchor for the offer. Okay. So those are two different tactics and tips and arenas of how I would potentially structure my group. But I genuinely do believe that it is the future of online business. Kind of broke it down into two different lenses. I think community is going to be the key because you're going to be able to give people something to buy into. You're going to give them some type of sense of belonging to being a part of something, especially because we're in a era of online business that feels so disconnected, right? Like so disconnected from the AI creators and all this stuff. And, it just feels very transactional. So I think we are naturally going to start gravitating towards that human connection, right? So community is a very easy way to have that sense of belonging, have that sense of, being a part of something. And then the second part to that is I do think live workshops, some type of live interactive thing, whether that's in your group or not. But I do think live is going to be an integral part of online business the longer and longer that we play this game. Because again, the distrust is going to be at all time low. And in the world of selling products and services online, like you're literally monetizing trust. So, you know, but that's all I got. If you guys got any value from that, hopefully you did. I just figured I'd pull up my camera and ramble a little bit about my honest opinions around like the state of online business and where it's going to potentially evolve. But again, I am a little biased, right? I did, have done very well with communities, and that's been the lifeblood of my business for many years at this point. So I'm not saying this from a biased perspective. I genuinely do believe this. Okay. So, and that's all I got. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys have an awesome Monday.